Hey everybody, welcome back to the 5QVO Pro podcast. I'm your host, Bryan Showalter, and today in the hot seat, we've got Nicolas Roye. How you doing, brother?
My brother Bryan, doing good, man. Thanks for having me on.
Let's jump right into it. Question number one, what were your two last jobs before you became a full-time voiceover artist?
Right on. Well, the first one was I was working for a wedding photographer, pretty big wedding photographer in Beverly Hills. A lot of big budget weddings and bar mitzvahs and bat mitzvahs. And then that segued into me working for a wedding videographer, also a very big company out there in Beverly Hills. And then I started editing wedding videos and bar mitzvahs and stuff like that for the videography company. And shortly after that, a really close cousin of mine had a successful scientific instrument and testing company in New Jersey, offered me a job working from home, being kind of a West Coast rep. And so I started selling what they call rheometers and viscometers, measures the viscosity of materials, the flow properties of materials. And I actually sold, right before I retired from that business and became a full-time voice actor, I sold like a $35,000, $40,000 instrument to SpaceX. I guess they were making some sort of adhesives or something for rockets. It was either coating or adhesives or something like that, but yeah.
Question number two, Mr. Roye. What has been your favorite voiceover gig?
Okay, because this one is so difficult, I'm going to have to go with my favorite because it's the gift that keeps giving. And that would be Taco Bell. I've been the voice of Taco Bell breakfast for about 3 years now, maybe a little over 3 years. And it is truly the gift that keeps giving. And it's fun, such good people. I'm blessed with a job like that because it's done so much for me, financially, of course. In animation and video games and anime and promos, man, there's so many good gigs, you know. But I'm going to go with the gift that keeps giving, Taco Bell.
All right, man. Question number three. Here we go. What was your nightmare voiceover gig? The one that has haunted you ever since?
That's pretty easy. It hasn't necessarily haunted me, but I remember it as being very sour. And for, I believe, about a year, I was the voice of Wienerschnitzel, and I was doing all their TV and radio spots. And they're these kind of silly, fun spots. And at one point, we got a different director that they brought in. I guess the advertising agency brought in, and she was not nice, and she was very green and had no etiquette as far as directing and working with pro actors. And one day she said something that was just very off-putting. I was in the booth recording, and I got quiet because I had to bite my tongue. I really wanted to react and say everything I wanted to say. But I remember I just closed my mouth and I said, in my head, I was saying, like, just stay professional as much as you want to let her have it. Just stay professional. And then it must have been like 5-10 seconds of silence. And she chimes in, Nicholas, are you there? I said, yep, I'm here. She knew. And anyways, and the spots didn't turn out that great, honestly. They were she wanted me to do it with the exact rhythm and inflection that she had coming out of her mouth, and it wasn't good.
All right, man. Number four, what is your number one tip for newcomers just starting out in voiceover? And let us know what mic and interface you're using there at your home studio.
Right on. My tip would be referring to the mental game because, you know, we all have to have a skill set, right? We all have to put in time and research and all that. But the mental game is huge in this business and many other businesses. One of the first things a lot of people will hear or believe is that there's a lot of competition out there. And you've already shot yourself in the foot when you start buying into that. You have to understand that there is no competition. Like, you know, that you're against yourself in voiceover. You're against yourself. So if you can carry that mentality and you can believe that and understand and start going under the notion that you're on your own journey, stop paying attention to the noise. Don't worry about who's doing what or who's at whatever level higher than you. You've got to just have blinders on like a racehorse. You got to have blinders on to your own journey. Push forward with ambition and because you're passionate about it, and you'll start getting hired. And my mic, this one's a Neumann TLM 102. I also have a MTX Gold 35. It's kind of a classic mic that's extinct now. And I have my travel mic is a Audio-Technica AT 2020. My interface is a Sound Devices USB Pre 2.
All right, man. Question number 5. I told you this would be short and sweet. What is your favorite VO story or quote?
That's a good one. My favorite VO story, my own story, is I was going to a callback for a mocap audition, and this was a video game that I wanted to be a part of so much. I was so mentally set on being a part of this game, and when I got the email that I was going to go to the callbacks, I knew this particular casting office, and so I visualized everything that was going to happen. I knew the room. I knew where everything was positioned in that room because I'd been in there so many times. And so I visualized everything that was going to happen, everything I was going to do. And of course, the director was faceless because I didn't know who was going to be in there. But I visualized it all, and it all played out exactly how I saw it in my head. And when it was all said and done, I got hired for that game. And I wasn't surprised because I already felt it. I saw that in my head too. I saw myself getting hired. So if that can help anybody out, visualization is important to me, and it's something I do on a regular basis, and it works.
All right, that wraps up another episode of the 5Q VO Pro podcast. I'm your host, Bryan Showalter. Join us each week for the same 5 questions, but a different VO Pro giving you the answers.